The Slim Fast 14-day effect on your New Year's resolution. Day 1, the new year. You want to kick it off with a bang, and you're not just talking about fireworks. Day 14, you're ready to start this year right, looking great and preferably on top.
2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. Swap 2 meals a day for Slim Fast protein shakes or bars, get in a 30-minute workout, and stick to a 1,200-calorie diet to lose up to 6 pounds in your first 14 days. Find Slim Fast in a store near you.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's Under the Gun After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Under the Gun After Show.
I don't care.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Under the Gun. We are in season 1 and this is episode 2, The Mentor Face-Off. I'm your host, Virginia Reyna Dunne, and with me tonight are my 2 lovely co-hosts.
Hi guys, so glad to be back. I'm Kay.
I'm Stef Z.
So happy to
have
have
the initials.
What's that?
I said I like that we have the initials following.
Yeah, we do.
Emma K, Stef Z.
I mean, some people just deserve a first and last name, I think.
And I have 3 names.
Yeah.
So I make up for everybody else.
So you're an acronym.
Yep. Well, Amanda is missing tonight. She had a little bit of a modeling gig since she is our resident model. So we miss you, Amanda. Can't wait to have you back next week. So we are just going to get right into it. I just wanted to kind of go over the way that it was working this week. So this is the second part of the season premiere. We saw last week we had, was it 7 designers?
7, yeah.
7 designers. So they had 6 more, no.
Wasn't it
7 and 8.
8?
Yeah. So they picked 8 last week.
Yes.
So now this week we had 7 to pick.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, no. They started out with 15 and they only had 12.
Yeah,
Because
1 got
Anya
eliminated last week and 2 got eliminated this week.
Right. So Anya had 3 and then Mondo and Nick both had 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry.
And then the one that got eliminated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, so they have, I kind of feel like they were at a little bit of a disadvantage, all of the designers this week, because they knew 2 were going home. It was kind of unfair. I also think that the reason they had another disadvantage was, or they had an advantage though, because they got to pick their own fabric.
Right.
So they had 30 seconds. There was fabric all over the FIDM lawn, and they had 30 seconds to pick. What did you guys think about that?
Well, first of all, I thought the disadvantage was for the mentors and not the designers, because someone like Anya, who chose 3 for the first week, was at a disadvantage of picking maybe someone that was great and she could have passed up on. I also thought it was not fair for the designers from week 1 not getting to choose their own fabric. So I think they should have kept it the same.
But in the same sense, I feel like the fact that they got to pick their fabric, like, yeah, it's one thing. But the fact that the first group of designers didn't get to pick their fabric means that there couldn't really be a critique on the fabric chosen. You know what I mean? So it's like it kind of works both ways. Mm-hmm. It's like, I almost feel like it adds more pressure when you have to go run around and pick your fabric, because you're like, oh my God, am I picking the right one? Did I pick the right fabric? Did I deduce? You know what I mean? Rather than, okay, this is what I got, so let me just focus on my silhouette and let me make something that I really like. Right. I don't know. I think it could be, you could look at it both ways.
But as Tim Gunn puts it, it's not about the garment. It's not about what you design. It's about the pressure and how you handle it.
Exactly.
So week 1 and 2 is all about the pressure. Can you take the pressure as a designer?
Right, and I really, appreciated that he kind of explained that and broke it down, because I was thinking, why would you, set them up for failure? But it's not really setting them up for failure. It's like, okay, what can you really do and whip out in 6 hours? Because you're going to have to deal with that the whole season.
Right.
Because, Stef, as a designer, when you're under a time crunch, but, when you're performing your best work, how long do you usually take for a garment? Is 6 hours crazy?
Kind of crazy, but in the same sense, for me, I kind of like I'm a procrastinator. You know what I mean? Like, I work better under pressure. Like, when we would have the shows and stuff, like, I don't know what it was. I would try and plan ahead and ahead and ahead. And, like, when it got down to those, like, 2-3 weeks before a show, I would, like, not sleep and just make stuff all day, all night. You know what I mean? Like, I would not be distracted by anything else. But it's like, if I had 3 months, I'd be like, well, I really know it only takes this amount. You know what I mean?
Right.
So but I think not only the time pressure, like, there's just so much pressure on these people, but I think it really is a good lesson because you never know, like now for them the pressure is the time and picking the fabric and whatever, but it's like when you have the pressure of a buyer or you have an order and your garment comes back wrong, you know what I mean? Like, that's part of what should be mentored is dealing with pressure and kind of just rolling. Like, you gotta kind of just roll with it at a certain time, you know?
Definitely, and I think pressure equals adrenaline, and that's when some people create their best work.
Right.
Is when they get that rush of adrenaline going, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm changing this and putting that. So your creative mind completely changes from what you had, and most people play it safe when they think they have 3 months.
Right.
And I think when they're under pressure, that's when all the creativity comes out because
Right.
now they're thinking so many different ideas.
Right. And, it's
And
like
go ahead.
oh, no, go ahead.
I was say, and it's like more time to just kind of like trust your gut. You know what I mean? It's like it's like you make something like, yes, I like it, keep going. No, I don't, trash it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because in 6 hours, you really can't, start all over or,
Right.
And I was really surprised that they were making like muslin pieces. Like, who has time for that? Who has time
I've
to
never.
create?
I mean, maybe I've missed it, but I don't. I feel like we don't really see a lot of that in this and in Project Runway as well. Am I crazy?
I feel like they did it a few times. Maybe they used it in their like unconventional challenges where they
Yes.
use the muslin as the base. But I've never seen somebody like.
Or talk about it like they're talking about it. And
I think
stuff.
I've seen it once, but the judges, not the judges, Tim Gunn, didn't let them use it because it was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, too, real quick, when we noticed tonight, and we don't know if it was just a TV error or whatever, was that it was in the guide tonight. It did say Project Runway ... Under the Gun, so which was different from last year. And like clearly, we know the shows are like affiliated, but I wonder why that changed.
I'm thinking maybe it's because they don't have a Project Runway going. Because the way that it's been going the last year and a half or so, it's like Project Runway All-Stars, Project Runway All-Stars. And so this is when Project Runway should be filming, and we just
So
had an
that
All-Stars.
viewer that might not have seen that Under the Gun's like this time slot for now, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
It could be, or it could be just an extension of Project Runway like they do with All Stars, except now it's just a different show, but it has the same concept.
Yeah,
Right.
it probably has the same like producers and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
I mean, because they do the same thing where like they have Francesca's as a sponsor, they have Benefit doing the makeup, so it's very similar. It's probably
And a lot of people, as you said, might have been expecting for Project Runway to come back, so they, I don't know if maybe the first episode didn't do so well, so now they have to tie in Project Runway to bring back all the viewers.
Right. We saw a couple changes from the first episode to tonight's episode, so maybe that's what it is.
Maybe. All right. So let's just get right into all of the designers. So the way that this format is working is they actually get to sit down and look over their portfolios and kind of, get their first look or their first opinion on all of them. And I thought it was really, well, actually, before even that, Ray said that his type of woman is he likes career industry sluts, which I thought was really funny because then when we see what he put down, I was like, that wasn't really slutty. Like the blazer and the pants?
Well, maybe that's his definition of slutty and how it comes across, with nothing underneath, the big chain hanging out. So everyone has a different interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Are we going right there already? If we like this piece? I mean, I hated it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he was in the workroom and they were telling him, like, you need to do this. I feel like they were really kind of pushing them, not only just pushing them to push themselves, but like what they wanted to see.
Well, and I don't think they did that in the first episode either. Like, it was like they were saying, like, change the silhouette, change this. And the first one was just like, oh, okay, that's what you're doing. All right, let's see where you go with that.
But correct me if I'm wrong, in the first episode, they were told they can't make any comments, that they're there to view the style and to view their, you know,
work
compared
ethic or whatever. Yeah.
compared to the portfolio, but they couldn't give any advice.
Right.
But this episode, they were actually giving people advice. So,
Right.
once again, disadvantage or an advantage for
Right. It depends on how.
some people when you throw them off what their initial design was supposed to be.
I also thought it was really interesting that, you know, Stephanie was from Denver and she already knew Mondo. But I mean, I lived in Denver and there was actually a pretty big fashion, you know, world there where they all kind of got together and, you know, they had their own little niche of people. So it wasn't surprising because, you know, he did go back to Denver and he still is working there. But I was wondering, like, is that maybe how she got on the show or I don't know.
I don't
What did
know,
you guys
because if
think?
they were, I think that if Mondo got Stephanie on the show, that he would have picked her on his team, or maybe that wasn't allowed.
Maybe. I was actually thinking he was going to pick Stephanie, but then I thought about it and I said, after he ended up not choosing her, it was a right move to make because when you know someone, maybe it's a little difficult working with them, giving them constructive criticism and
Oh,
your
absolutely.
visions, and maybe he just didn't want to break that friendship they have by, you know, if she gets eliminated or if he needs to be tough on her. So...
Well, and he seems very competitive. Like, he is a little bit cutthroat. Like, Nick was like, you know, playing the nice guy, and Mondo's like, no, I'm not going to do that with you. Like, sorry, this is, I mean, they're winning cars. You know, so I'll just go over the prizes again because I think last week there was also a little bit of unclarification on that. But so the winner of this show gets $100,000 cash. They get a brothers sewing studio, a trip to Paris. They get to design the uniforms for Benefit Cosmetics. They get a spread in Marie Claire, a Lexus, and they get to have their own capsule collection in Francesca's, which is huge because then, like, that's actual, you know, people can go in and buy their stuff, which is really big for a designer to have your clothes featured nationwide. But the mentors, they actually get a car themselves. They get a Lexus, and they get a spread in Marie Claire, as well as they are the ones that get to be a guest editor. I think I thought last week that it was the person that
Designer.
won.
Yeah, I don't think we separated the prizes, I guess.
No, but I mean, that's good for them as mentors, you know, because they're already pretty established, you know, so it's a way to get them kind of out there in the media again. But we know we did have some comments, and they were saying last time that they were, you know, like they didn't know. Or, you know, we were commenting on Mondo and, you know, why people would pick Mondo and Anya over Nick. But they, one of our commenters said that it was because, you know, Anya won her season and Mondo had won Project Runway All-Stars and Nick only came in like, what is it, like 6th or 8th on season 2. So maybe that's what the, you know, discrepancy was, or what everybody is thinking. What do you guys think? Who would y'all pick as your mentor?
Can we be honest?
Yeah.
Please?
So, Tim Gunn?
Yeah, not a choice. Honestly, Anya probably.
Why?
Well, I kind of go to Mondo. I feel like he, you know, he was one of my favorites last week, and like he seems like he'd be a little bit too. I don't deal with drama too well. Like I'm a super, I'm a super straight shooter. So I would kind of want someone to like, but I'm super coachable too. You know what I mean? And I look for that. Like I like, you know, like I've learned, you know, two of the biggest things you can. Not you. Sorry. You know what I mean? Like being able to say like, I don't know and it was my fault, or I think two of the most important things to be able to say to like ever grow, you know what I mean? And it's like, I want someone that would straight up just tell me. And I feel like with them, there's going to be sugarcoating or drama with Mondo and Nick. And the reason why I hesitated, because part of me, as much as Nick kind of comes off a little bit whiny to me, for lack of a better word, just because he keeps saying no one wants to be on my team, no one wants to be like my team, you know what I mean? Like
He
I don't
sounds
know,
just like that
like,
too.
like I don't know that I would want to deal with that either, but I feel like Nick has the most knowledge.
Right.
I think
I
a
do.
combination of all of them into
You keep
a
picking
new
things
person.
that aren't like pick
Yeah,
one.
those aren't options.
Well, I like
Tim's not
Anya.
an
Like, do you want
option.
chocolate or vanilla? Well,
I
see,
like-
I kind of want Rocky Road with peanut butter
Or
chips.
can you give me
I
a
like
swirl?
Anya because she has that comfort, you know, that nurturing feeling, you know, that you want someone because being new and being on a show, especially competing, you want someone to motivate you, not necessarily put the hammer down. But at the same time, I kind of disagree with you because I feel like Mondo is a straight shooter and Anya would sugarcoat things just because she's nice and that's her personality. And you have Nick, who has the experience, even though he hasn't really been the best in his season. He has the experience. So it's, you know, all of them are good. But I think I would have to go with Anya as well.
Yeah, I would go. So I don't think that Anya would sugarcoat it. I feel like Mondo would be condescending. I feel like it's not that. I just feel like a condescending tone with him, I guess is what I feel.
I do think he kind of has that, a little bit of an attitude. But, you know, I mean, they showed us previews. It looks like Anya is about to lay the smackdown on somebody. So
I'm sure they all are. Like, it's a television show. Come on.
Yeah. They're like, we need a little more drama.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, this time, they're winning the prizes as well. So everyone wants to be the editor, you know, for 1 year in a magazine, or they want to win the car as well. So it's not just mentoring. When there's a prize attached to it, everyone's gonna fight for it.
Right. Well, there's also a little bit of ego attached to it.
Definitely.
So, you know, because it's got, I mean, Nick's already feeling it. He's already, like Steph said, whining a little bit, like, nobody wants to play with me.
Yeah. And I think we've all come to the conclusion that we think Nick wants his own show.
Yes.
Absolutely. He's like gunning for Tim Gunn's job. Okay. So anyways, I did want to talk to you guys also about iTunes. I know you guys love us out there. You rate us, comment. We love to hear that. We want to know what you want to hear, what guests you want. We do have some guests coming in soon, so we're really excited about that. But we just love everything that you guys, you know, like we're always growing from you guys. So be sure to rate us on iTunes and also on YouTube. We love the comments, and we just want to hear more.
And we also want to keep all of our New Year resolutions. So if anyone has made any New Year resolution, or if you haven't, now is the time to start. With Slim Fast, 2 weeks is all it takes to get what you really want. In 14 days, the only thing higher than your confidence will be your hemline. This podcast is brought to you by Slim Fast.
Yum. Have you guys had Slim Fast before?
I have.
I really like the orange dreamsicle. I don't know if they make that one anymore.
I like the chocolate.
Chocolate.
Actually, cut my craving, and I was not hungry.
Nice. Steph, what about you?
Nope, never had one.
No? I'll have to bring you on
I do like the
week.
commercial, though. Give us a week, we'll take off the weight. And, like, the belt just, like, squeezes the can. I mean, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just get right back to it. So we talked about Ray. He's the career industry slutting it up. Steph, she's one from Denver. Amy, I loved Amy. I don't know if it's just because she's a mom, and I feel like she would be, like, a cool mom, but I liked her.
I wanted her to stay. I really did, because I honestly felt like Nick was going to pick her.
I did too. That's his aesthetic. Like, he dresses sophisticated
And it's like
women.
a little, like, he kept saying that, like, everybody was picking the young, hip Mondo and Anya. So, like, I thought in his mind it would have resonated, like, oh, here's, like, a woman that has a family a little bit older. She'll understand my language. And together, I can tell her and critique her things that, like, the others might not go for.
I actually called it that she was going to go home.
You did.
When, you know, the mentors were going around the table, but he might have changed his mind after he saw the dress coming down the runway, because seeing it on the mannequin was completely different than the runway.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny, too, because we see them looking at the portfolios, and they don't usually stay true to what they see in the portfolios either. So it's like, you know, because who knows why they made whatever was in the portfolio. You know what I mean? Like, that must be a hard thing for the contestants, too, to pick, like, their 3 pictures for the portfolio or whatever. You know what I mean? Because you never know what people are looking for. So, yeah. Well, so sad.
Okay, so then we move on to Nicholas, who said he was an industrial designer. And as soon as he said that, I was like, this guy's got to be cool. Like, I mean, that's a crazy job to have. And I don't know. What did you guys think about him?
I liked him. I didn't like the ending, but we'll go into that after.
I loved it.
I liked his personality. I think he came across very that chic, sexy type of, you know, that vibe I got from him. And he was pretty calm and down to earth about it. He wasn't boasting about his abilities and his, you know,
sassiness. Yeah, we'll get to
As
Sam
Sassy Sam.
later. Yeah. But, you know, I thought it was really interesting that he was a menswear designer, and, like, they showed his portfolio, and it was all, like, tailored stuff. And then this was, like, a blousey dress. I mean, it was, like, a
But that was what they said they wanted to see, too. They're
Right.
like, we want to see him make something for women's because it was... And I think it was smart of him because, you know, in his mind, he's like, they saw my portfolio. They saw that I can do this. So let me show them that I've got a little bit of balls or whatever. You know what I mean? And, like, make something else and show them that I can do something good with it, too.
That was a good call. I don't think, well, you could see that at the end, the dress he made, you could totally tell that he was a menswear designer. So
Yeah.
definitely needs to get
The
in
dress
touch
was
with
terrible.
his feminine side.
We'll get back to that.
Or interview more
yeah,
women.
because I love Nicholas. Okay, so Isabella, I thought she was a little quirky, but I liked her, and I thought that Sam's comparison to her as a little squirrel, it made so much sense because you just see her like running all over like a crazy person.
I like her. I think she was a little bit over the top with personality, but I have high expectations from her. I think she's going to prove everyone
Really?
wrong. Yes.
Wait, who, Isabel?
Yes.
I like her because she used to be a pro skater.
Yeah, and that exactly. She's
She's got style.
She's so
She's
like
hip.
skater, designer.
She reminds me of like a skater and Bjork in one.
Yeah, I can see that. She'll
Yeah.
be coming in like a little swan outfit.
Yeah. And
Nice.
she'll like, yeah. I liked her.
Okay, so getting to Sassy Sam, I thought he had a little too much attitude. I think he was like, I know I'm cute, I know I'm a good designer, people are gonna like me, and then it didn't help that they picked him first. I was like, why?
I mean, yeah, his attitude was a little bit undesirable, but his outfit was freaking cool. I really liked it.
I have to pass on him.
Same.
Really?
It was too slouchy.
I think he didn't bring I would have worn the pieces separately, but not together. It was not comfortable and sexy at the same time. You know how it was just
I could see him as separate. It's like
two
the top.
separates were amazing, but not put together.
I just think it's really hard to, and I guess you're saying he didn't, but I think it's really hard to nail comfortable, sexy. Like, I feel like it was. Like, I feel like there is this slouchy chic thing that's been happening.
Like
and
90s Nirvana, like grunge.
Right, but like classy in a weird way. Like
Yeah.
mixing that all together, and it's very marketable. And I didn't expect to see that from him. Is what I guess. You know what I mean? Like I expected some like
Froofy
tight
little dress.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciated it because I have seen stuff like that. Like if you look at Trend Predictives, that kind of, like the pajama pants are so popular right now, and comfortable. But I didn't like the two together. Like if it would have been like a sleek pant with that oversized shirt, that would be so cute. And I feel like so many people could wear that. But
But that would have looked boring on the runway.
it would have been so cute.
It would have been cute walking in your house, but
Well, you could have done different things with it, but I think the bottoms either needed to be tight or a little bit more fitting but loose shirt with the skirt. And when Nick said that it could be worn on the runway, I was like, who would wear that on the runway? It's not something that I think would be put on the runway. Not on the red carpet, he said.
Red carpet, yeah.
I didn't see that.
oh,
on
I
the
could
red
see like
carpet.
Jennifer Lawrence, who's like wearing something like that, and she's like the it girl right now, not Zoe, whoever he said.
Chanel.
Yeah, I mean, I love her too, but I don't think she's the it girl right now.
No, you know who else I think would wear something like that? Elle Fanning, Dakota Fanning's little sister. Like she kind of.
I could see like
explores
Taylor
those things.
Swift wearing stuff like that.
Emma's like, no.
I just threw it out there.
Okay.
Miley. I don't know.
Maybe the top.
Maybe Miley.
Yeah.
The skirt.
The top with like some panties.
The top with a G-string. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Okay, so and
Just
then
the top, nothing.
yeah. Last of all, we have Asha, which who is it? I think Nick said future hoochie, or did she say that about herself, or did we say that? Maybe we
I have
said
no.
that.
I was
don't-
not.
It
I
was
was.
said.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe she was referring to her sister when she was describing that her sister is her muse, and she was designing. No, not her sister, but she was designing hoochie for her sister to model her designs. I don't know.
I
You
don't
guys
know.
correct us.
Yes, please let us
Please,
know.
let us know.
Maybe I just wrote that down. I don't
Maybe
know.
you were
I feel-
thinking it in your head and
I
just.
feel really bad now. But I was.
Well, maybe you were thinking that based on the her portfolio we were looking at, because I didn't like the dresses.
Maybe that's what it is, because there was
was
that
the
crazy
bikini.
bikini at the
Oh,
beginning.
there you go. And I'm like, she's modeling her own stuff?
But it was her sister.
Oh, really?
I thought so. I thought
On the
that's what she was
cover?
saying.
I'm gonna
okay,
plead
well,
the fifth
anyway,
on this one.
Yeah, let us know, because we apparently missed that one. So, anyways, I liked her fabric. Like, the fabric was an interesting choice. I
In the
didn't
w-
like the cut, the midriff cut.
In the workroom, I thought she was gonna nail it. I was like, this is gonna be so sick. And then no.
Yeah, I think I like the fabric.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
the
I
well,
thought it
thing.
did. It looked good. And maybe it was just the way it looked like on the mannequin, you know what I mean? Like, rather, not the mannequin, you know what I mean? Like, rather than the person. You know what I mean? Like, once you put it on person, it looked weird.
You know, and I have to say the models play a very big part in the final product, because you could have a color that is amazing on the mannequin, but once you put it on the model, it doesn't sync. So when you're
Right.
having the model walk your outfit down the runway, it, based on the skin tone, not every color goes with every skin tone,
Right.
So her dress looked completely different to me, based, from the mannequin to, you can really see the details on the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna, the thing that I was most freaked out about was Isabella. She was kind of like the only one that I feel like was not prepared. Everybody else was like sitting on the tables, just like hanging out, relaxing. Did you guys notice that at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if they can eliminate her based on that. Based on, them calling time and she's still working on the garments.
Ah, that's interesting.
Because if you have, if you're doing it once and everyone always has that last detail to put, you have people going down the runway with maybe nothing's ever perfect. So if you get everyone that needs that 1 minute, 2 minutes,
Well, that was
It wouldn't
really
be
funny
unfair.
It
because
was
she
kinda
just
funny.
kept sewing.
She was
as
like,
to-
she was
like,
trying to play like, I don't
Yeah.
understand what you're trying to say. I'm just going to keep pushing it through the machine.
Yeah, that was bad. And
Okay, no touch. Okay, no touch.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
and when the model was walking down,
She was just like,
She was like folded in here.
it's funny how the
pin it
security had to
there.
come get the model and escort her out.
Yeah.
which is interesting because then when the model came out wearing it, like it looked like it was completely done.
She was probably like, honey, this is what you do.
Yeah. Squeeze here.
Yeah.
Hold your arms down to the side.
Yeah, like
Well, she also had problems because she claimed the measurements they gave her for the model were not accurate, because when she put the dress on the model, it was big.
Right.
So she had to redo the whole thing, which she claimed would have taken her 2 weeks.
Which, I mean, that happens sometimes, though. The models all vary in sizes a little bit, and, maybe she had a big lunch, or, she had a slim fast for a few days.
Could
Or maybe like she read, the ruler wrong. You know what I mean? Like how did she?
She
like,
had a centimeters
yeah,
and inches.
something. But you know what I mean? Of course, the first thing she's gonna say is, "They gave me the wrong measurements. Not I screwed up my dress." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Well, and because she was like, cut, piece,
Yeah.
piece. Like, one of her pieces could have, like...
She could have like held it the wrong way. She would have turned it
Yes.
around. The point, like.
But it came out great, so that's
Yeah,
why
I
I'm saying
liked
I
it.
have very high expectations of her.
Yeah.
Is she
if,
your
if someone
favorite?
like reins her in.
I'm not going to say she's my favorite. I just think she's going to do better than what everyone thinks she's going to do.
Because I don't think she's going to last more than, like, 2 rounds.
But she brings personality, and I think for a
That's
reality
true.
show, you need that as well to keep the viewers going.
That's true. Okay, you
Yeah.
have a good point. Okay, so, let's just talk about our favorites and least favorites. So yours, Isabella, from tonight at least.
No, actually, my favorite was Stephanie from tonight.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
That really boring gray dress?
I like
I'm
the...
sorry.
Better than your schmuck.
Oh my god, that was the best thing ever.
It was like a schmuck
the
with a
name
pencil
tag.
protector.
No, with the name tag.
Yeah, I was like, and open schmuck here, like
What-
open here.
It was boring. Some people may think it was boring, but the detail on the dress was amazing, and the skirt and the fit.
On Stephanie's dress?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It was really, really good.
Both of you think? Steph, you too?
I like her way better than Nicholas. Yeah, I did. I liked the slit. Like I liked it. I was shocked that I thought she was gonna get picked before some of the others. To be honest
Really?
with you, yeah.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
there was a lot of stuff like that was kind of for me like. I don't want to say that word. It's so negative. Like Ray's, I hated it. It literally looked like a cardigan that like my grandpa gave my grandma, and it was too big.
See, that one, I think if he dressed it up, there was way too much color going on in that outfit.
And the pants.
If he dressed it up with the shorts he had on, maybe
Yeah, he was wearing some shorties. Like, not
we
gonna
would be
lie.
talking. You know, imagine
He
like
he had on like tightrope boxers. Let's be real.
I think he had to like wax before he put those on because.
well, Mondo should have done the same
yeah,
thing.
they should go together. Next time, Ray, bring Mondo with you.
By the way,
because-
we said we love Mondo shoes.
oh my God,
Those spikes are
yeah, those-
amazing.
he had. I mean,
Kicking ass to do.
yeah.
Wow.
But I really think if she was wearing shorts with that big, blazer, it would have worked out better than having the tight, slim pants.
Yeah, I've seen some coats like that, like almost like the Doctor Who coats. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that are stylish that I've seen him in right now. But I think it was a swing and a miss for me.
I think if he would have had like a crop top underneath it and let the blazer be open,
Exactly.
maybe with the tight pants,
I would have been so like frumpy, more frumpy.
more frumpy than Sam's sweater dress thing.
Sam.
Sassy Sam.
That wasn't frumpy.
What
It
would
was
you call
way
that?
too big.
It was
You could swim in that thing,
right, but it didn't make her look big. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Really?
oh my God, I wish they could see. Like, she still looked like you could tell that there was a fit person in there.
You
like
could
the way
fit
that
another model in that
right,
shirt.
but the way that it fit and hung on her was flattering rather than this like boxy like freaking thing or the schmuck. Come on,
It was way too big.
I am Team Nick all the way.
good. Go with
Okay.
your bad self.
Okay.
I don't really like. I don't know that I want to go as far as saying I'm Team Sam because let's see how his attitude, goes along. But like, I liked that outfit.
Well, we have to remember we still have 7 how many other contestants from the previous week? So
yeah.
Tonight I'm Team Sam.
okay, fine.
Just for tonight.
Yeah.
You're Team Sam?
I mean, oh no, Nicholas. Sorry, not
Yeah,
Team Sam.
I do not like his outfit.
He's
I think
too
it would be
cute for
interesting
me.
to see if we would pick our 4. Who they would
Oh,
be.
Ooh.
I like that. We'll do that next week because we'll have everybody together.
Okay.
We'll pick
Yes.
our 4.
Okay.
Okay. So least favorites.
Asha.
Yeah. And
Asha,
Mondo
Nick, and
like
Ray.
loved her. Like he was like blown away by her. And I'm trying to figure out, is there something we didn't see?
I was just thinking that, like how Amanda, because, she was one of the models last week and she said that when sometimes the outfits look super different in person than and translate terribly to TV or vice versa. And I'm thinking that has to
I
be
really
that.
think it was the model. I think the dress
Or the
didn't
model.
stand out because sometimes you do have the model overpowering the dress because now you're concentrating on the model versus the dress. So the model has a lot to do with how your look is on the runway. But I'm gonna go with Amy. She was my least favorite. I think she played it with too safe, covering up the neckline.
Yeah.
And then that bow hanging down, and then there was way too many slits. It was.
I definitely think she like when she covered the middle part, I was like, okay, now you're designing for White House Black Market. And no, I mean seriously, if it would have been all the way down, it could have
It
been
was nice on the mannequin.
more sexy.
Yeah.
And they need sex appeal.
Yes.
Okay, so we're just going to, that's all of our designers.
Right.
So then we get to the picking, and I thought it was interesting that they let Nick pick first. And I don't know if it's because he was so whiny last week and this week, because they were like, oh,
I think they just reversed the order. I mean, maybe
because they
did.
started with Mondo last week.
Yeah.
Or maybe because he had the least.
He didn't.
He didn't.
No?
Him and Mondo were tied.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But I feel like maybe, I don't know.
It didn't really matter.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But, okay, so anyway, so Nick first picked Sam, and then also Anya and Mondo picked Sam. And I was a little bit surprised that who he went with. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I thought he was going to go with Nick.
I thought so too.
You thought he was going to go, I thought he was going to go with Anya.
I thought he was going to go with Nick because he had mentioned earlier that in the workroom that he can learn from Nick's construction. So I was like,
But he just came from school. That's why I thought he wouldn't pick Nick, because he was like, I just came from one teacher, now I'm going to have another teacher. I don't know.
I thought he was going to go with Nick.
Yeah, me too.
Well, okay, so then, but I was really surprised that Anya even tried to go for him because that was going to be like her last guy. Like Anya only has one guy left or one slot left.
Right.
So I was pretty surprised that she kind of went for that one.
Can I throw this out there? And, you know, I'm hoping in the future when we do have designers coming in, eliminated designers, we can ask them this question. But are some of the choosings, like, is it prefixed? Are they telling them, you know, even though they knew he was going to go with Mondo, are they telling Anya, okay, we want you to go ahead and, ask him to be on your team as well, but we know he's going to go with Mondo?
Well, I don't think so because, you know, Mondo, like, gave the floor to Nick to pick, and he was like, oh, I thought you were going to pick somebody else.
Right, but in the same sense, if he wouldn't have done that, like if Mondo would have gotten Nicholas as well, and then, or whatever, or if he would have wanted Isabel, then Nick would have had to pick two, and that would have just been awkward. Like, it worked out smoothly, per se, and they had to, like, know that there was going to be, like, one person left to pick and three people left, which I guess that worked out anyway, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what if Nick would have needed two more people, then how would I have done that? He would have just picked two. Like, I feel like maybe they filmed it all and then kind of like edited the ways that it worked out, so it worked out that way, or it could be possible, or I don't know, maybe not.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, you know, like maybe we didn't see it completely in the order that they did it.
Yeah, because the way that we saw it was that they picked Sam first, and then Anya went next, and she picked Nicholas, and that was like her last pick that she could have. But then Mondo and Nick also both went for them, but he ended up going with her.
Yeah,
which I love Nick. I
know.
You just like
I'm
him because
missing
you
it.
have his dress.
I don't have his dress. I have a similar dress, and it is awesome.
And you were at the day you met Tim Gunn when you
I did.
Why
Yeah.
you like
Sorry. Yes. Okay, I don't need to talk about that. But anyway, so then after that we have, okay, so then it was supposed to go to Mondo, and then Mondo went ahead and let it pass on to Nick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you guys think about that? Do you think that was strategy?
I thought it was a good strategy, but then now having Stef mentioned, you know, based on filming purposes and how it would have made it awkward for Nick to pick two people, I'm thinking maybe it was strategized by the producers to say, okay, well, Nick needs to, because I don't think, if it is filmed in the order we're looking at, then they don't know how many people each mentor is going to end up with. So if at that point Nick only had two, then it would have made sense to pass it to him.
Right. Yeah. So Nick, and also because I guess Mondo was left with, like, if he was left with picking between Isabella and Stephanie, which was his friend from back home, like that kind of puts him in an awkward position of like, my last pick isn't going to be you type of thing, you know? So then we saw Nick pick Isabella. I was really surprised that he picked her because they are like polar opposites. Nick is like Mr. Put
I
together.
feel like they're gonna do well together.
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see, ladies.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think they might have some headbutting, but at the end, the end product is going to be great.
Yeah, I think
Or at
if she
least I'm
listens
hoping.
to him, if she
Right.
doesn't go
Overtime.
you know, flittering about, then yeah, or overtime. Yeah, maybe he can help with that. But, you know, that's really interesting because they show, like in that preview, they show him like draping stuff and they talk about him sketching stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think he's allowed to do all
And
that
he's
stuff.
not, I've never seen Tim Gunn do that.
No.
So I guess they have a lot to learn as mentors from Tim.
Maybe they'll
so
kick him off and then split his team. Oh, I'm just kidding.
That would be a twist. Okay, so after Nick picks that, so then Mondo has his one spot left, and he's like, oh, that wasn't who I was going to pick. So then he has to pick between Asha, Stephanie, and Amy and Ray. And I was so surprised that he picked Asha.
Me too.
I wasn't expecting. I thought he was going to go with Stephanie.
Yeah.
But you can't, like, I don't think that would have been good. Like, I just, you know, because when it gets down to it, like, kicking off your best friend and somebody else, and there's prizes involved, I mean, that's, like, a really big deal.
They went from knowing each other to like
Being
being
best
friends to being best
Sorry.
friends. Who are you?
Sorry.
He's like, I'm from Denver. I know everything that goes on.
Like they, like
So what
they
other
could've-
spoilers do you
They
have?
could have been at like a mixer together. That was it, or something.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, out of everybody on the show, that would be the besties. Like, I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, you know how when
I
you
know,
find
I'm
someone
just
from your
picking on you.
hometown and you just, like, You have that instant bond.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So anyway, so he didn't pick her. He picked Asha. And so then it was left for Nick to pick between Stephanie, Ray, and Amy. And, you know, they all plead their cases. And when they pleaded their cases, I really thought he was going to pick Stephanie.
I thought he was going to pick Ray.
I thought he was going to pick Ray, too, because Ray stroked his ego and was like, I was going to pick you from the beginning, even if Mondo picked me. And we were all like, that's exactly what Nick wants to hear.
Yes, yeah.
But
yeah, so
and because of the shorts.
And the shorts, yes. But, you know, he said, he was like, even if this wouldn't have happened, I was still going to pick Stephanie. So I thought that was really surprising.
Yeah.
But then, like, when you look at it, Ray and Amy, I think those were the two that probably should have went home. You guys liked her gray dress, though, Stephanie's.
I liked Stephanie's dress,
yes.
Yeah.
So. I think maybe Nicholas, but...
What?
I think Nick or Asha could have went home instead. I liked Amy's over, even though it was like a little bit safe, kind of like I liked hers over Asha's and Nicholas's and Ray's.
Yeah, I think it should have been Amy instead of Asha too. So, what do you guys have for predictions? Who do you think is going to win this all?
Mentor or designer?
Now, your AfterBuzz
Both.
TV.
It's so soon to tell.
Predictions.
I don't want to kick myself later on.
It's okay. You can change it up. We're not going to sign this away for the season.
Even though I don't like his ego, I think Sam can be molded because he is new and out of school, and he's like a sponge that takes everything people are telling him. And he's so calm about everything. He's not stressed. So I think he has a great potential of going to maybe the top 2, top 3, but I don't have a winner.
I'm going to stay with Anya and Brady. Or do you want someone from this week?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I am going to have to pick, I think it's between Brady and Nicholas. Those are my two. It's really surprising that Anya has a group of guys because they're all just, you know, wanting to soak up that womanliness from her, I think. It's a good, I mean, if you're going to go with, like, what do women want to wear?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
Sweet.
Go ahead and you guys tell us what you think, who you think's going to win. We can't wait for next week. I'm just excited to see them finally getting into the workroom. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at IAMSTEFZ.
You guys can find me on gqjedi.com, and don't forget to shop on TamaCaseCloset.com with promo code AfterBuzz.
Nice. And you guys can find me at Virginia Reyna Dunne. Have a nice night, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.